What would you do if your job literally erased who you are for 8 hours every day? Imagine walking into an office where your memories vanish and the person inside your brain becomes a stranger. That's the terrifying premise of Severance, the series where work-life balance is taken to a chilling extreme. Lumen Industries, the enigmatic company at the center, doesn't just employ people, it splits them in half. And as we unravel this story, you'll see that nothing about this world is as it seems. The story begins with Mark Scout, an ordinary man haunted by grief. After a personal tragedy, Mark makes a choice that seems impossible. He undergoes a radical procedure called severance, implanting a chip in his brain that divides his consciousness. There's Mark as he exists outside the office, carrying the weight of his real life and memories, and Mark Innie, the version of him confined within the walls of Lumen, entirely cut off from the world beyond. One self remembers love, loss, and family, while the other knows only fluorescent lights, endless spreadsheets, and a mysterious corporate hierarchy. Inside Lumen, nothing is ordinary. The employees spend their days in highly controlled environments, processing obscure data without understanding its purpose. Numbers, files, and codes dominate their tasks. Their lives are stripped of emotion, humor, or personal freedom. It's a sterile existence where the tiniest deviation can result in punishment. But despite the monotony, subtle clues hint at a sinister truth. Lumen isn't just a company, it's an experiment in control, obedience, and human manipulation. Mark's colleagues provide a glimpse into this fractured reality. Irving, meticulous and introverted, follows rules to the letter, hiding secrets of his own. Dylan, seemingly cheerful but sharp, has a knack for bending minor rules, testing boundaries without fully grasping the danger. Then there's Hel, a new employee who immediately senses the wrongness of everything around her. Unlike others, she refuses to accept the constraints of her severed self and begins plotting subtle attempts to escape, challenging the unspoken rules that govern Lumen. As Mark navigates his dual existence, he uncovers unsettling truths. The office is more than it appears. Hidden cameras, endless hallways, and unexplained security measures suggest constant surveillance. Meetings feel like rehearsed rituals, and management, particularly the figure known as Cobalt, exerts influence beyond reason. Employees who question the system are quietly punished, erased, or worse, left traumatized. Mark begins to realize that his grief, which once isolated him from the world, has made him a perfect subject for Lumen's experiment. The tension escalates when former employees appear to have resisted the procedure. Petey, Mark's colleague and friend, represents what happens when severance is reversed. Unlike others, he attempted reintegration, risking his life to reclaim memories and autonomy. His experience is a warning. The procedure isn't just invasive, it's dangerous. Memory is fragile, and attempting to reconnect the two selves can have fatal consequences. Petey's struggles haunt Mark, highlighting the stakes of a system designed to suppress identity. Hel's journey intersects with Mark's in dramatic ways. While Mark grapples with the ethical and emotional dilemmas of his severed self, Hel pushes the boundaries of rebellion. She discovers cracks in Lumen's carefully constructed reality, hidden offices, encrypted files, and artifacts that hint at the company's deeper purpose. Every escape attempt she makes, every message she leaves for her outer self, amplifies the suspense, revealing that Lumen's control is not absolute, and that rebellion, though dangerous, is possible. As the story unfolds, the psychological tension intensifies. Employees must navigate loyalty, morality, and self-preservation within the walls of Lumen. Conversations are laden with double meanings. A casual comment can reveal hidden knowledge or trigger suspicion. The series plays with perception, what is real, and what exists only inside the severed mind. Each character embodies different aspects of resistance, compliance, and the human desire for connection, creating a tapestry of suspense that keeps viewers guessing. The show also delves into the personal cost of severance. Mark's life outside the office is fractured by the procedure. Relationships strain under the weight of absence. He is both present and absent simultaneously, unable to reconcile his dual identities fully. The emotional stakes are high, blending grief, love, and moral ambiguity. Lumen's sterile corridors contrast sharply with the warmth and chaos of the outside world, emphasizing the human cost of a system that treats consciousness as a commodity. A critical turning point occurs as Mark begins investigating Lumen's inner workings. What starts as curiosity turns into a quest for truth, hidden agendas, manipulative management, and experiments on human subjects come to light. He learns that Cobalt, the seemingly omnipotent leader, has a personal interest in controlling employee behavior beyond efficiency. The severed selves are not just workers, they are components in a larger, ethically dubious experiment designed to explore obedience, memory manipulation, and corporate power. Irving and Dylan, who initially appear compliant, start forming subtle alliances with Mark and Hell. These alliances are tentative, built on trust in a system designed to discourage connection. Together, they explore forbidden areas, decipher cryptic files, and uncover evidence that Lumen has been hiding critical truths from both their inner and outer selves. Every step closer to knowledge increases the risk as surveillance tightens and consequences become more severe. The tension between compliance and rebellion drives the narrative forward. As the first season reaches its climax, Mark confronts the ultimate question: should he attempt reintegration, merging his severed selves despite the risks? The lure of regaining lost memories and reclaiming his identity is strong, but the dangers, physical, psychological, and existential, loom large. Meanwhile, Hell continues her desperate attempts to escape, leading to tense confrontations with Lumen's security apparatus and exposing the cracks in the corporate facade. Every revelation raises new questions. What is the true purpose of Severance? Who benefits from erasing human identity? And can anyone truly escape? Season 2 expands the scope of the mystery, introducing more layers of Lumen's influence and the ethical quagmire of Severance. The outer world begins to encroach on the inner one. Relationships, secrets, and past traumas intersect with corporate control. Characters wrestle with guilt, ambition, and the consequences of their divided consciousness. The story grows more suspenseful, exploring themes of autonomy, morality, and the human desire to reclaim selfhood against overwhelming odds. Throughout both seasons, Severance balances psychological horror with dark humor and social commentary. The Office, with its repetitive tasks and artificial hierarchy, mirrors the absurdities of modern corporate life, exaggerating them to nightmarish extremes. The severance procedure, while fictional, serves as a metaphor for work-life dissociation, reminding viewers of the costs of compartmentalizing identity for the sake of productivity. The series blends mystery, drama, and philosophical reflection, making every scene a puzzle and every character a study in human resilience. By the end of Season 2, the tension is nearly unbearable. Mark, Hell, and their allies have uncovered more about Lumen's true intentions, yet complete freedom remains elusive. Every choice carries consequences, both for their inner selves and for the people they love outside the office. The narrative leaves viewers questioning morality, identity, and the limits of corporate control. It's a story about survival, rebellion, and the cost of reclaiming one's mind in a world determined to divide it. Severance isn't just a thriller, it's a meditation on what it means to be human in a system that sees consciousness as disposable. The series challenges us to consider our own lives. How much of ourselves do we give to work? How many boundaries are crossed without our consent? And if we had the choice to separate the painful parts of our existence from the mundane, would we dare to do it? As the show stands today, it's a perfect storm of suspense, character drama, and corporate horror. Every twist leads to a new revelation, every alliance is fraught with danger, and every memory, stolen or regained, carries profound consequences. Severance compels its audience to ask uncomfortable questions while delivering a story that is as gripping as it is unnerving. Whether Mark and his colleagues will fully reclaim their autonomy remains uncertain, but the journey itself is a masterclass in tension, storytelling, and psychological exploration. In just 10 minutes, you've now traversed the twisted corridors of Lumen Industries, experienced the terror of severed selves, and glimpsed the human cost of a procedure designed to erase identity. Severance is more than a story. It's a mirror held up to the modern workplace, amplified into something unthinkably sinister. And if there's one thing clear, it's this. In the world of Lumen Industries, no one is truly whole, and nothing is ever as simple as it seems. If you want to see every shocking moment and unravel more movie recaps yourself, make sure to subscribe and watch the full video.